Which dish did you try for the first time here and liked it?
Bindi masala.
Bindi masala.
My favourite. The Indian food.
Since you mentioned your friends Ricky Ponting, so growing up, he was our biggest fear.
Ricky was always tough. He had a beautiful on drive like Virat, Kohli.
One player you would want in the next option.
Who do you think?
We can get Rohit Sharma.
Rohit Sharma.
Ab
Apni.
apni bari
Bari.
hai.
Hey, you just say it.
For me. Ab apni bari hai.
Yeah, apni Bari. Hey.
Oh, there you said it. Hello LSG Brigade. Welcome to another episode of Yumm presents बकैती. मेरे साथ यहाँ फ्रेम में मौजूद हैं भूत चिप्स, जिनको अगर आप एक बार खा लेंगे तो लाइफ लॉन्ग आपको झटका याद रहेगा. और झटका तो याद रहता है हमारे अगले गेस्ट की परफॉर्मेंसेस का सारी ऑपोजिशन टीम को. In our latest episode, we have with us our head coach, Mr. Justin Langer. Justin, always good to have you. You know, when I first read the news of you being appointed as our head coach, I was very happy that a camera-friendly guy has been made our coach. We have all seen you in the test. And I was very happy that we are going to get lots of content from you. But you tell us, what do you feel about all these public relation activities you have to do? You know, you have to be present at multiple occasions, including this podcast.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
It's just part of the job in the world we live in now. And when I was coaching Australia, we had the test series, which was very popular through COVID. So I got used to it. And I also now work in the media. When I'm not coaching LSG, I work in the media. So I understand the broader picture and how important it is to sell the game to the fans and how important the entertainment of the game of cricket is. So for me, it's all part and parcel, and I love doing it.
We have seen you coaching at different levels, but how different do you feel is coaching an IPL team?
Well, it's nice to actually be here because I've heard so much about it for so many years, and it's living up to every expectation. It's like madness. There's games everywhere. There's a game on every night. There's so the cricket's entertaining. Being in India, where the country of India loves cricket so much, it's just brilliant to be here. I love being a part of it. I've heard from so many of my friends over the years about the IPL, and now to actually be here, it is so cool, and there's nothing that I haven't enjoyed about it so far.
Before joining Resi, which was one team that you were a fan of?
Well, actually, when I first retired from cricket, it was the same year that the IPL just started, and there was Glenn McGrath and Shane Warne, and I retired on the same day against England at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and Damien Fleming had just... Stephen Fleming had just retired as well. So we heard about this thing called the IPL and T20 cricket. So they asked us to sign up, and I signed for the Rajasthan Royals.
Oh, you were part as a player?
Yeah, so I signed a contract. But what happened is I was then at the same time signed to go and play for Somerset in county cricket. And I was captain of Somerset. So I thought, well, I can't really take the first 10 weeks off if I'm captain. So I actually never ended up playing. But I knew Rajasthan Royals well because of Shane Warne, of my great friend who we miss a lot. But Rajasthan Royals. And I also had friends who were coaching in it. You know, Ricky Ponting was coaching Mumbai, then he was coaching Delhi. I had Tom Moody coaching the Sunrisers. Adam Gilchrist at one stage was involved. So all these friends of mine have been involved. So I was quite neutral.
Cheering all your friends?
All my friends, but I guess if I had anything, it was probably Rajasthan Royals, only because they were kind enough to sign me, even though I never came and played.
Since you mentioned your friends Ricky Ponting, so growing up, he was our biggest fear. Like for my generation, since we saw that 2003 World Cup final, what he did to us there, and it was always difficult to get him out. He has always scored tons of runs against India. So tell us a bit about him. You've shared dressing room with him. What kind of a guy is he?
Ricky's like my little brother. You know, we're best mates. So, and Ricky was always tough. Very, very, physically tough man. And he batted number 3 all his life. He had a beautiful on drive like Virat, Kohli, and the greatest players play the on drive regularly. And it's the hardest shot to play in the book because you've got to be perfectly balanced. To play the on drive, your stance, your head position, everything is going to be perfectly balanced. And Ricky and Virat, 2 of the best players I've ever seen, play it so well. So from that point of view, Ricky was an amazing player. He was an amazing fielder. And the other thing about what a lot of people don't know about Ricky Ponting, he misses nothing.
Yeah.
So he sees everything. That's why he's a great commentator and he's a great coach, because he sees everything. He's got this incredible ability to just notice everything that's going on all around. So from that, it's a real strength. He's a very caring person, even though he looks tough.
Never really cared about us though.
Zed doesn't care about Indians. He never cared about the opposition.
Never.
Just his brothers in the Australian cricket team. So, but what a great player. What a great player and great person.
Since you mentioned Virat and we've seen how much you love him, like love his game, we've seen all your interviews throughout. You mentioned Virat and KL were the two people you were looking to get out whenever you were playing against India. So did you always knew you were gonna sign up for LSG? So you was nice things about KL as well?
No, not at all. And it was, I thought probably my coaching days were over, to be honest. I'd been away for 30 years and I've got a beautiful family at home. I hadn't spent much time in Perth. But KL, I just thought he's such an elegant looking player, and I always knew he was a nice person. I didn't realise he was such a nice person until I got to LSG. He's so calm. He's a very, very kind and caring person, and I've got so much respect for him. But then you have Virat, of course, and I've said this publicly a lot of times, he's probably the best player I've ever seen in my life. And this is coming from a cricket tragic. I love Viv Richards. I love Alan Border. I played against Martin Crowe, these great players, obviously Brian Lara and Sachin. But Virat's energy is extraordinary. I thought he's so fit, his energy on the field, his energy running between the wickets, his energy, he's just got this incredible spirit. So I love watching him play. I was glad we got him out in the game the other day. That was very happy. I was happy. I didn't want to see him back then. I was happy to see him go. Think about guys like Sehwag, what a player.
Yeah.
Dhoni, what a player. They're the ones who, as a coach and as a past opponent, they're the ones you're most scared of. Tendulkar. Then we had Dravid and Laxman, who still gives us nightmares from that innings in Calcutta.
I was about to come to that, because probably that was the only test match where you bowled.
Yes.
And I don't think you've ever bowled other than that.
And I'm the worst bowler in the world. See this chip?
Yeah.
This chip?
Yeah.
That's a better bowler than me. Seriously.
You're being humble, I guess.
No. This could bowl better than I could. I'm a very bad bowler. So the point is, when we get to that last over, BBS and Rivalry batted all day.
Yeah.
By the time Steve Waugh had asked me to bowl the last over of the day, the umpires had bowled one over, the 12th man had run over, someone from the crowd had been asked to bowl, and he was so desperate, he finally asked me to bowl, because I wasn't a very good bowler.
So you've been part of two matches where India sort of conquered against Aussies, 2001 test match and the 2021 Gabba test match. Like, which Indian side was more difficult to beat?
I think to answer that question is the hardest thing to do in cricket is to beat India in India. Right? So the 2001 was a tough series, but we'd won 16 straight test matches at that point. So that was the breaking point. And then 2004, when we finally beat India in a series at Nagpur, that was my Mount Everest moment of my career. That's the greatest moment of my career, was finally beating India. So therefore, if you fast forward that to India beating Australia, it's very hard to beat Australia in Australia. And India beat us in Australia in two series, the last two series. So that takes a lot of skill, talent, focus. That takes a lot. So for India to win those two test series, that's an unbelievable performance.
In India, there is still not as much as sporting cultures. Like, parents don't really support children taking up sports. We are doing good in sports, but still, for example, we are allowed to play like an hour a day. Studies are still a priority. So for example, if any parents are watching this, how would you like to convince them for let them kids pursue sports?
When I was 18 years old, I went to school and I played football, Australian rules football and cricket right up until I was 17 years old. And then the year after, I went to university for 1 year. And I wasn't sure. I love writing and I love journalism but I also wanted to be a physiotherapist. So I wasn't sure. And I didn't get enough marks for physiotherapy. So I went here and I started an arts degree. And I remember my first year at university, and my next door neighbour, he said to me, we were talking, and I said, I love cricket. And he said, gave me some very good advice. He said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go to England and play a summer of cricket in England. He said, I think that'll help me become a better cricketer. And he said, I said, but everyone's telling me I should get my degree first and then go and play cricket. And I'll never forget he said to me, in this life, always follow your gut feeling and your heart. If you want to go and play cricket, go and play cricket. And I look back on that and I'm so glad I did, because the safe option would have been to get my degree just in case my cricket didn't work. But the option without fear was to say, no, I'm going to pursue my dream of playing cricket. And if that didn't work, maybe I could go back to study after that. So rather than taking the safe option, I probably took the more fearful option, but I am glad I did now, because by pursuing that really single-minded of wanting to play cricket for Australia and wanting to make this my profession, then I was able to stay focused and achieve that. Had I gone the other way, then I probably would have been 50-50. And in anything in life, if you want to be a great journalist, you must focus on being a great journalist. If you want to be a great doctor, you must focus on being... If you want to be a great sportsman, you must focus on being a great sportsman. If you try and do half and half, so the point is, I was really happy to have followed my heart and my gut feeling. I love the game. My mum and dad were also scared that I might not make it. And my mum was the one who used to go, I say, Mum, I want to play cricket for Australia one day and wear a baggy cricket. And my mum would go, oh, that's nice, dear. And she kept taking me to more and more games of cricket. But then the day I got selected to play for Australia, my parents were so proud of me. They couldn't believe that I said that I was going to do that, and then I did. And I'll never forget that the thing that drove me back then, and it still drives me today, is making my family proud of me.
I've seen you with the players all the time, like how you wrap around your hand on their shoulder. So comforting to look from the far. A message you have for Indian teachers, because in India, teachers are also very strict. Like, they go the hard way.
Yes.
There is always a distance between student and the teachers. So if you have a message for them as well, like...
Well, there's a couple of things I'll say on that. One is sometimes you must be strict. And I look back on my life, I would not be sitting here with you right this minute talking about me and the chip as a bowler if I didn't have great mentors and teachers in my life. Those people who are still my best friends and the people I love the most and respect most in my life are those mentors. But what I've learned about leadership is you've got to care for your people. You've got to treat them with respect. You must make them feel special. And you know, that's the most important thing. You've got to love your people, and and that's how you build the environments of a family. Like, families are built on love, right?
Yeah.
And it's no different than building a great team or a great school or a great office. You must build it around the foundation of loving your people, because then everyone will flourish, and they'll want to come to school, they want to come to work, they want to come to the game. They want to come because they want to be there. But if it's always strict and angry and then there's tension. And you know, you've got to in performance, you've got to be relaxed, you've got to be happy, and you can't be doing that if you're scared. So that's what I'd say: build an environment around love and looking after each other, and then everyone can be themselves and they can flow and hopefully perform at their best.
You visited the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about how that was?
Beautiful experience. What I loved about it was that the passion and the single-minded, or the very focused reverence for the temple and for their God. It was nice to be there with some of my teammates. That's the other thing I've loved. It was like the holy.
Yeah, holy, yeah.
What an experience. And to be able to share that with a group of friends and a group of teammates, something that's important to them, like going to the temple, just to be able to share that with them and show respect for each other, I thought that was a very special time.
I have prepared some questions for you. Let's do a rapid fire.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask you that once you, I think it was the Perth Test match of 2004 where you were hit on your head and you still came out to bat again.
Yeah.
What made you risk your life?
No, that's just the game. That's the game. I love the game so much. I love representing my country. And there's no way I'm letting show get on top of me, baby. No way. He might hit me, but I'm going to keep bouncing back. That's just how the game works. Like a boxer, you might get knocked down, you're going to keep jumping back up. That's part of the fun of the game.
Who's the most obedient player in the LSG team?
First thing I said to Sid, do you think you can get Virat Kohli out? He goes, yes, sir. And guess what he did? He got Virat out, so he's the most obedient player.
Apart from LSG, like 3 other teams that you think would make to the playoffs?
There's so many good teams. You can never, even though Mumbai have lost their first 4 games, as we do this podcast, their batting is very, very strong, and they understand how to win. You know, I'm always most nervous of the teams who understand how to win. So Chennai are always going to be tough. Calcutta have started very strongly. I actually believe, even though they haven't started that well, Delhi on paper have a very good team as well. So this is the brilliant thing about the IPL. Now, I'm sitting on the fence here, and I'm not telling you 3, because if you look at it, it is so competitive. Like you said to me when we're walking in, you look tired. I said, yes, I'm tired because I'm just going to prepare now for Gujarat on Sunday. And I look at their team and they make me tired. And then we play Calcutta and there's so many good teams. There's no teams to rest. There's no teams to rest for.
Yeah. One player you would want in the next auction, since it's going to be a mega auction, considering everybody is available. One guy you want, like, let's have him.
One guy I want, if I can have anyone. Who do you think?
Most of our bases are covered. Maybe if we can get Rohit Sharma.
Rohit Sharma. We're going to get him from Mumbai. You better be the negotiator, because I can't see how that's going to happen. But
which dish did you try for the first time here and liked it?
Bindi masala.
Bindi masala?
Huh.
Oh.
My favourite.
Okay.
I love bindi. Bindi is my favourite food in India.
Oh.
Yeah, lady fingers. We don't get okra in Australia. We do, but not so much. Bindi masala. I'm not sure if you know this, but while I'm in India, I want a 10-week challenge to be vegetarian.
Oh.
Yes. So I'm having 10 weeks of being a vegetarian. So bindi, paneer.
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 Which paneer is your favorite?
The one with the yellowy orange gravy.
Okay, I think that's paneer butter masala.
The Indian food, oh man, so many options.
And what are the 3 songs you're listening to these days?
There's an Australian singer-songwriter called Matt Corby. I love Matt Corby. Adele. I love love songs. And Coldplay. I like Coldplay. And Parak, he loves Coldplay as well. So we listen to a bit of Coldplay. What's our next prediction in this game?
We have never beaten GT so far.
Well, you've got to beat the best teams if you want to make the play and then win the IPL, right?
Yeah.
So we might as well test ourselves. What can I say in Hindi?
Ab apni bari hai.
Can we look here?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Ab apni bari hai.
Hey, you just say it for me.
Ab apni bari hai.
Yeah, ab apni bari hai.
Oh, so you said it. If you have said it correctly, we may even do it. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, then do let us know in the comments कि next guest आपको कौन चाहिए and उनसे आपके क्या सवाल हैं. See you guys in the next episode.